And welcome back to another episode of Convos with Your Mom's Favorites with host Moe and Greg. I am Moe.
I am Greg.
And we are back. We are back with another episode for who?
The people.
Uncle G, how are you?
I am good, nephew. How are you doing?
I am doing great because we are celebrating.
I saw the setup and I said we must be celebrating.
We are celebrating. We are celebrating because when this drops, it will be the 4th anniversary of Convos with Your Mom's Favorites. So we are here to celebrate.
Yeah.
That's why we have our shirts on.
And
We've got
everything.
Decorations.
Yeah.
We've got some bubblies we are going to pop later on in the episode.
Yeah.
We are here to celebrate just how far this podcast has come. But first, we are here to talk about things and stuff.
And stuff and things.
And things and stuff.
There we go.
And what do I want to start with? I watched something recently. I finally watched Furiosa. I didn't send you this, but I finally watched Furiosa.
I still have not. I have not watched the whole thing. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Because every time I turn to it, it's usually like either it's someplace else.
Right.
So I haven't had time to sit down and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, man. I'm just. We watched it Friday. It was long.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Incredibly long.
I know it's a long movie.
And for me personally, it didn't really explain much that I had questions on.
Oh, okay. They were answering questions that you didn't ask.
Yeah, it was all right. At first I was upset, right? Because of how poorly this movie did in the box office, we were told that the next Mad Max movie has been put on pause.
Oh, okay. All right. Get it together.
Because of how bad this one did at the box office. And I was upset. And I was like, yo, y'all probably just, prejudging this movie and, it's not that bad and we should, not put this on pause and we should go headfirst into, the next Mad Max movie because Fury Road is one of my favorite movies ever created. So I'm like, okay, it should, we should continue this storyline. After watching that movie, take a pause. George Miller, take a pause, take a step back, refocus,
Again, we say it all the time. It's the story. It's the story. And if you're going to do that, but one of the things that made Fury Road so good was the story. It was a good story, and they had incredible actors, and this one was, from what I could see of it, it was like you said, I'm gone.
There we go.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it was like, again, like you said, they're answering questions because it's like you sit there and you wonder, all right, so why are you making this movie?
Yeah. What story are you trying to tell?
Yeah,
and I got the whole purpose was to give us an origin story for Furiosa, who was one of the standout characters in Mad Max.
Yeah.
I get that 110%.
I get that, yeah.
But for me, there is a whole hour and change, the whole first hour of this movie, you could have cut that completely.
Wow.
Started the movie an hour in, and the movie itself would have just ran a whole lot better.
Wow.
It would have been great.
Yeah.
But it's a thing that happened. Unfortunately, before we do get into what we are going to talk about today, I do want to say rest in peace to Chris Christopherson. Christopherson?
Yep, Chris Christopherson.
As well as Dame Maggie Smith.
Yes.
Two legends.
Two legends.
Two legends.
Yeah.
Are gone.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's so sad.
Really is. Yeah, it's like I was telling somebody, it's like all the elder cast from the Harry Potter movies are gone.
Yes.
Are gone with the passing. And somebody sent me a picture. My niece sent me a picture because she's a fan, and she sent me a picture of, and in the picture it was the three of them.
It was Dumbledore, Snape, and Professor McGonagall, and they said they back together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that and I got like really emotional.
I even saw one.
Someone drew a picture, and it was Snape, McGonagall, Professor Dumbledore, and Hagrid walking hand in hand together.
That's right, yeah.
Because these are four of the biggest names to come out of Harry Potter.
That's right.
So for them, the four of them to be gone.
Yeah.
And it was just like, bro, it's crazy. And the fact that Maggie Smith died exactly 1 year after Professor Dumbledore.
Wow. See, I didn't know that.
Same
part.
day, a year later.
Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy.
I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
All of my childhood heroes
Are gone.
are leaving.
Leaving here, man. It's incredible.
And we're not okay.
No, not at all.
We're not okay.
Not.
Okay.
Nah.
We're just not okay.
It's like you're kind of like it's like to the point now. I get you get posts on your phone. You see something come up, and when they announced about Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
I was in church, and my phone vibrated, and I looked to see. And it said,
shame on you checking your phone while you in church.
Shame on me. I know.
Shame on you.
I wasn't doing anything at the time. That's why.
Sure.
No, I wasn't.
You know that there is some woman who would have taken your phone regardless of what you were doing.
But I checked. I looked at it out the corner of my eye, and I said, and the only thing I saw is died, and I was like, oh, I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it because I was like, somebody died.
Yeah.
And then I got home, and Angela said, Chris Christopherson died. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. It was very very sad, and we are not okay.
No. I said this year. And I kind of like in my head I made a joke, but I said, the segment during the Oscars,
the in memoriam,
so that's going to be long.
Oh,
that's going to be about a 10-20 minute
segment. That's going to be long because they're only mentioning like. You only get the notifications about like the big name actors, actresses, directors, things like that who died. But there have been other people.
Yeah.
When they do the in memoriam, it's not just those big names. Nope. It's everyone who has ever been involved in cinema gets their moment.
Yep. There's going to be like a 20-minute segment, man.
Yes. That's going to be super long. And I'm just... I'm not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it at all.
It's going to be kind of hard.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
But yeah, may they rest in peace. Condolences sent out to their families and their loved ones.
Yeah.
You will most assuredly be missed.
But you will be remembered because
definitely
because of your body of work. All of them left this great body of work that cinema people who love cinema and love movies and love television will be looking at and forever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that not gotten out of the way, now that we have pushed through the sad part, let's get to some great television.
Yeah.
Okay, because 2 shows came out, right? And I was from their first announcement excited for both of these shows. And the funny part about this is that these shows that I was excited for sparked from a movie that I do not like, have not watched since the first time I saw it in theaters, and I fell asleep while watching said movie in theaters. And the other one is from my least favorite MCU television show ever.
And my favorite.
And the fact that I love, you hear me? Love both of these shows, something needs to be said.
Yeah.
And those shows are Agatha All Along
Yes.
and The Penguin.
Yes.
Starting with Agatha All Along, I hated WandaVision. We've discussed this ad nauseum on this podcast.
Many times they have felt the sharp barbs.
Yes,
of our commentary.
No need to go back and
let me rephrase that of
my commentary because you loved the show.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
So there's no need. We're not gonna sit here and beat a dead horse.
No,
it's a thing. It happened. We're gonna just leave it as is. Move on.
We're gonna move on.
But Agatha Harkness was my favorite part.
Yes.
Of WandaVision.
Yes. Yeah.
And so for her to get her own spin-off series, sign me up.
I personally was surprised, even though she was my favorite one of my favorite characters from the series.
Okay.
I did not think that they would be able to build. I couldn't see them building a story line around her, but I was excited to hear that they were going to try. And so far I have not been disappointed.
Oh, I haven't been disappointed. I am a little upset. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it or caught up. They killed Deborah Jo Rupp in the last episode.
Yes.
And I was heated.
Well, it looks like they killed Deborah.
It looks like she left the episode dead. She left the episode dead.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't come back, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
Because in the same way that Agatha was my favorite part of WandaVision, Mrs. Hart was my favorite character so far in Agatha.
Yeah.
Because Deborah Jo Rupp is just one of the funniest people ever. And whatever she's in a comedic role, she knocks it out of the park.
She shines. You're drawn to watching her, and she makes you laugh. Just sometimes not even so much by what she says, with the facial expressions, with the demeanor.
Yes.
She's just funny.
Yes, definitely. And I was just when she said she was dead, I was heated, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole time, right, during that episode when they're like trying to brew the potion and she's just laid out on the table, when everybody drank the potion, right? I immediately said, "Excuse me, Mrs. Hart is back there on the table and no one's brought her a cup. I need y'all to handle that like right now. Excuse me, no one has brought Mrs. Hart a cup so that she can get the antidote. Excuse me, no one has brought Mrs. Hart the cup so she can get the antidote."
You're like, hey,
hey, lady,
hey. There's somebody
over there who needs a cup. So please go take care of her right now, expeditiously.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I am definitely on board for this journey. It looks like it's going to be an interesting one. Sidebar. Well, no, still talking about the show. The Shahir Zameda. Wasn't she a cast member of Saturday Night Live? Well, I'm talking going back in the day, but or some comedy ensemble. But I know that name from somewhere. I believe she was a cast member.
We can definitely check
of Saturday Night Live at one point.
I was about to say maybe I can if I could find my IMDb app.
Yeah.
But
I am definitely enjoying the ride. It's been pretty interesting so far. So I'm interested to see how this pans out. We'll get to that in a second. I wanted to see what you find out about Shahir.
You said SNL?
SNL. Was she a cast member? SNL?
No.
What did she appeared in? Because there's something I've seen her in. Because that's a very.
Did you watch Woke?
No.
You should.
Woke was good?
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. It got canceled though, but it was good.
Okay.
She was in The Muppets Haunted Mansion. I don't know if you ever watched that. Just letting you know. She was also she was Gloria in Grand Crew.
Where?
Grand Crew.
No.
You watched Grand Crew. She was in I Feel Pretty.
No, but I've seen her in something because, again, like I said,
I think it's Grand Crew, Uncle G. You may not remember her, but it was Grand Crew. That was the show that we watched about the wine, where they all like sat around and drank wine. You remember Grand Crew. It came on NBC. We were very upset that it got canceled.
Okay, yes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was probably it. But I know the name. I was like, I know that name, and I seen her in something. I couldn't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, going back to the cast, they've got a great cast.
Yes.
Some surprises. Patti LuPone is in it. I was really, really, and she's one of my favorite actresses. I've always loved her. So Patti LuPone is in it. I was like, wait, they got Patti in here. It's okay. Yeah. All right. They got some heavy hitters. And who else? Like I said, I like that.
Listen, Aubrey Plaza's in it, right? And
which one is that?
She was in the first episode, the one who busted in Agatha's house, who helped her break the spell, and tried to kill her. Right?
Yeah.
So she's in it.
Love her.
And thanks to a Funko Pop that was released, we found out. This is also a spoiler if you haven't seen it. Thanks to the Funko Pop, you gotta love action figures sometimes. Thanks to Funko Pops, we now know that she is Death.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They released the Funko Pop too soon.
Too soon. And on the back of it, she's listed as Death.
Okay.
So we now know that who she is without so I was like, oh, okay, that makes it interesting. And then I saw a funny joke because once the Funko, one of the comments, because I was on Twitter and I saw it, and one of the comments under the post at the bottom was like, okay, Thanos, I see it.
Oh, really?
Because if you remember in the comic books, Thanos' mission in the comics was he was courting death.
Yeah, he was in love with death.
If Aubrey Plaza's Death, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I can see why,
I can see the attraction.
I can see the attraction. I can see, yeah. I can see why you're doing what you're doing, sir. I get it.
I can see how she got your attention.
Yeah, I can see how she got your attention. I can see it.
Yeah.
Of course. I am intrigued to find out who the teenager is.
Yeah, they just call him Teen. Well, on the credits, he's just listed as Teen.
Yeah.
They don't really every time he gets ready to say his name.
Yeah.
They do something with some kind of crazy magic thing with his mouth, and you never get to hear him say what his name
is, where he's from, his history, and the whole thing. So, the fun part is, thanks again to those who, deep dive and dig into these episodes and things like that. He's listed if a frame was slowed down and paused, what happens to his mouth? It's initials.
Oh, really?
And the initials are WM. Wanda Maximoff.
Get out of here.
So it's I'm very intrigued to see how this whole thing is going to play out, and how they're going to do this whole how they're going to tie all of this together, because we see Wanda in the very first episode.
Yeah.
She of course is dead.
Yeah. And then you also see her name come up on the library. The library card.
Yes, as the last person to take out the Darkhold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's they're teasing with the fact that Wanda may come back through this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
some kind of way.
And somehow she's not,
Yeah.
She's not dead.
Yeah.
Which will make fans happy who were very upset with how she died in Multiverse of Madness. Then you got people like me. She's back.
But they're also toying around. I guess maybe kind of even to throw us off the scent that may be Agatha Harkness's son.
Yes.
Yeah.
But who knows? And it could be.
Could be.
Wanda could have just, put whatever curse that he has on him
But he's the wild card, and they've also been mentioning and I don't know if he's the main villain, or going to be the villain, or if they're going to introduce him to the MCU through this show, Mephisto.
Yes,
I've heard them mention his name a couple of times. And I was like, okay, all right. So is he going to be the villain, or is he going to be introduced to MCU through this show? So it could be interesting.
That could be interesting. That'd be interesting. I'm intrigued. I am very much intrigued as to the direction this show is going in.
Yeah. It's like they're going down a dark yellow brick road.
Yes. And I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
I am very here for it. That song they sang to open the door.
Was that cool?
That was amazing.
That was crazy. That was
amazing. And then them just ripping on each other when it didn't work the first time. Yeah. I was hysterical laughing.
You know, Patti LuPone, who was like the real singer in the bunch.
Yeah.
And Broadway trained and all that. She was like, no, you were flat.
You were flat.
She was like, I was not flat.
Yeah,
that was cute.
But I am 100% enjoying.
Yeah, me too.
Agatha All Along.
I wish the only thing is again, I wish they had released it, the whole thing, the whole show.
Yeah, I'm tired of.
I probably would have, and I guess it in retrospect, because I probably would have watched the whole thing.
Oh, I'd have been done already
in one sitting.
Yeah, I'd have been done already.
I would have watched the whole
for
thing.
sure. I'd have been done already.
Matter of fact, if depending on how it ended, I probably would be in my second go round by now.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued as to how this is going to play out, and who's going to, once they finally get, I'm intrigued to see if Agatha does get like her powers back.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see if that is indeed her son.
Yeah.
I'm interested to even see if they go down that road and explain what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
If that is her son, and because she seems like, right, one of those complex characters who has a stigma and stories told about her, but things got misconstrued, and her reasonings were misconstrued.
Yes.
And so I'm intrigued to just lay out plainly what actually happens.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, it's not, though that's what it looks like. Mm-hmm. That's not exactly what happened and how it went down.
Yeah.
So I am intrigued to see how,
how all of this plays out.
Yeah, how all of it plays out and how they're going to tie it all together.
Yeah.
But I'm very Agatha All Along. If you have not watched it, do yourself a favor. Go watch it. It's one of Disney Plus's better shows.
Yeah.
Much better than the show it came from.
Yeah. I'm not co-signing with that. WandaVision was epic. I'm sorry.
An epic failure. An epic failure. But we will not.
But remember, did you watch that the video I sent you about Wanda? About Wanda, the Scarlet Witch character?
Yes.
Okay. Just to show you. That's why, I don't know if it hit you the same way it hit me, but that was why she has always been one of my favorite characters in the MCU, because of her backstory. And
I don't think they translated that well.
You didn't think it translated that well?
No.
Look at it again. It's they kind of like, it's a big story. It's an incredibly huge story, but again, it's just like it kind of tugs at your heartstrings, because again, you realize, like you said, like we just said about Agatha, that the story, what you see, isn't always what you get. In other words, there's always a story behind the story. And you find out that a lot of stuff that she's endured, a lot of it is because of the stuff that she's endured, and why she's, what happened. She kind of went mad. And then you think about, if you had to endure some of that stuff, would you have gone mad? Or would you have made the choices that she made?
I get it.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So.
You're not getting me to watch the show again. You're not. That's not happening, okay? I will go back and watch the video again, sure.
No, watch the video.
I'm not watching one. I'm not doing it again.
I won't. I would ask. I did watch, in leading into Agatha, I did go back and I watched the final episode of WandaVision again, just so it would kind of like take me right into Agatha's story.
Did you see what they wrote on her house?
What did they write? I can't remember.
It was like Bad Witch or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I saw that and I laughed. I chuckled.
Yeah.
I was like, they didn't forget.
Yeah, because that was something else that surprised me, is that they did not forget Wanda, because it was like, don't say her name.
Yep.
It was like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It's like, don't say her name. I was like, oh, I thought she took all of that stuff away from them.
No, she just made everybody remember who they were before then.
Oh, so they still remember. So they all still remember.
They all still remember everything she put them through.
What she did. Okay. Which is also interesting. That was, when I figured that out, I said, okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. But another great show.
Yes.
Sparked from a not so great film.
Yeah.
The Penguin.
Yes.
Has premiered also on Max. And we've got the first 2 episodes. Colin Farrell is reprising his role as Oswald Cobblepot.
Yes.
And
interesting is that they don't call him Oswald Cobblepot and because I don't know why, but his name in this incarnation is Oz, but short for Oswald Cobble.
Yeah, they
we keep adding, even in my head, I keep instinctively adding on Cobblepot
because that's what his name was.
Yeah.
But there was someone asked the director if they could change it.
Are they going to change it?
No. I'm saying from Oswald Cobblepot
to just Cobble
to what they call him now.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah.
I'm interested now. I need to find something that would tell me why he.
Yeah, they asked him, and I was like, I hate that idea. His name's Oswald Cobblepot.
And you instinctively, if you're a fan, or have been following the character through comic books and through the series and whatnot, you instinctively in your head, even when they say Cobble, you're saying Cobblepot.
Yes.
You keep saying that in your head, even
because that's what his name has been since I first met the man.
Yeah.
Since I first met the man, he's always been Oswald Cobblepot. But whatever.
Yeah.
The show itself.
Anyway,
is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. They are doing a great job at even the pacing of the story.
Yes.
We've only got the first 2 episodes, but I am in love with this show.
Yeah.
And all of the characters that they have introduced in this show.
And I've said that before. I always say this about whenever we're watching a series or whatever. For me, the 2 things that always draw me to something, especially a new series, I have to is the story first of all. It's got to be good, and then I gotta like the characters. If I don't like the characters by the 3rd show, I give it 3 shows. If I don't like the characters by the 3rd show, chances are I'm not watching it. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not watching it because I don't feel anything for any of the characters.
Right.
And here's the thing, I hate Colin Farrell.
That's rude. That's
sorry.
Rude. What did he ever do to you?
Forgive me, but I hate Colin Farrell. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything and liked him except this.
Wow.
Except this.
Wow, someone's never seen In Bruges.
Oh, heck no. No. No.
Wow.
No. I didn't watch that because he was in it.
It's a fantastic film, Greg.
I know it did. It was up for Oscars and everything, and it garnered a whole lot of attention. But I do not like Colin Farrell.
Boo. But continue what you were saying.
Yes, but I love him in this. Maybe one of the things is one for me is the fact that he is so immersed in this character.
Yes.
That you can't even tell
you wouldn't know it was him.
You wouldn't know unless if somebody if he was to walk into a room in that drag and he was to walk into a room and somebody said Mr. Farrell, and you'd be looking at it's like
where is he?
Where is he?
Where is he?
Like where is he? Where is he? He's just that immersed in the character that you don't even don't even know it's him. So it's like, okay, his performance is incredible, and like I said, I'm not a fan, but I am a fan of what he's doing in this show.
Yeah,
and and it does show off his acting chops. You know, he is a good actor.
no, everybody's good. Because what's the Vic? I believe is the kid's name.
Oh my gosh, he's got a good career ahead of him.
Yeah, he's going places.
This show is going to catapult him into the forefront.
Yeah.
From the beginning, from the beginning of them introducing his character, I was like, all right.
Yeah, he's going places.
Yeah.
This kid's going places.
Yeah, this kid is going places.
Sophia Falcone is wow.
And you know
what?
And she's small and she's petite, but she is scary as all get out.
Yes.
And she does it not so much with a physical appearance, it's her eyes. You know, but those eyes are
something about that, like her facial expression is just like at any given moment, a knife's going to be in her hand. She could not have one in her hand at all.
No.
But if you look at her the wrong way,
yeah,
that a knife will just appear in her hand and is going to end up in your throat.
So some kind of weapon is just going to appear in her hand, and you're going to be like, where did she get that from?
Where'd she get that from? Yes, this is scary.
She is
scary. But good scary. I'm like, the ending of episode 2.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I'm going to take it all from them.
Yeah.
You know what? I believe it.
I believe it.
You are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you're not right in the head. From the simple fact that you're no longer in Arkham.
Yes.
But you sleep in your closet on a pallet on the floor. As if you don't have a room, large room, with a large bed inside that you could actually sleep in. But I love this show because of that, because it doesn't it lends to the trauma of everything that she's gone through in Arkham, because it's like she wasn't sleeping on a bed like that in Arkham. So if you get accustomed to sleeping a certain way, it is very difficult. Once you get out, you don't get to just go back to life.
It's like somebody
as usual.
It's like somebody who's been in prison for, let's say, 30 years.
Yes.
When they come out of prison,
they're not the same person.
They're not the same person they're coming out, even though the bars are gone. Most times they're still in prison.
Yes.
And it takes them a long time to make that transition from being behind bars to being on the other, to being free again.
Being free again, yes.
You know, it takes a while. And so we're kind of like getting to see the transition that she has not made yet. She hasn't made.
And honestly, sometimes when you see her, you be like, maybe they shouldn't have let you out. But she's free, and like they're showing, you know, that whole trauma of it and how she's gone through it. I thought it was great because they did that in Castaway.
Yeah.
When they once he was found. And they put him in the hotel.
Yeah.
He had a bed, but he slept on the floor because he's used to sleeping on like hard surfaces.
The bed was too soft.
It was too soft.
Too soft.
So he couldn't sleep on it.
Yeah.
But they're showing her character is going to do great and terrible things in this series, and it's going to be magnificent. At first, right, I was upset because though, like, these latest iterations of Batman have kind of humanized his villains.
Yeah.
And that they're not like super powered or like
they're not really over the top with what they, no, because the Riddler was kind of over the top.
Yeah, but the Riddler was like human. I mean, in the sense that like Bane.
Yeah.
And the last Batman we got didn't have a serum pumping into him, making him this big, super strong, like human.
Yeah.
He was scary still, but he was still just a normal man.
Even the character of Sophia Falcone, if you read the comic books, or go back and watch the Long Halloween.
Yeah.
On the video, The Long Halloween. which I think they're showing that on Max. You can find it on Max. But again, if you watch it long, they introduce the character of Sophia, and she's in the comic book.
She is a large woman.
She's big and she's physically impressive.
Yes,
and scary. The actress who plays her in the Penguin is not big or physically impressive, but she is nonetheless scary.
But like they've taken like characters like that, because even like the Penguin himself had Penguin features, and like and like the comics, the animated series, like he had Penguin-like features. What they've done is they've kind of stripped it, and Batman's kind of just like beating up very powerful thugs. If we'll just like he's no longer fighting like superhuman people. He's like fighting like everyday thugs in power. Which is cool. Right. But I would definitely like to see those that version of Batman done well on
that level.
On that level,
On that level.
Now that doesn't take this show and make it any less impressive, but it is definitely just it's like a mafia series with well-known Batman characters.
And the thing that these actors and actresses bring to the table is that even though they're not caricatures of like the comic book character of the comic books, they are no less impressive.
Yes.
I mean, they are still very impressive, and you can, and there are like the whole Penguin thing. They humanize, like in the comic books, they comic book it. Here they humanize it. Like the scene where he's in the room and he takes off his shoe and the brace and his socks, and you see what his feet look like, so you understand now why he walks the way he walks. So they've humanized that. There were a couple of side profiles, but I've been noticing in the side profiles now, and you probably, if you go back and look at Colin Farrell while he's doing a character, when they do side profiles, you look at the angle of his nose. And they did and with the angle of his nose, they gave him like that kind of like penguin type nose.
Yeah.
And he's got the walk, and he's got the walk.
Oh, he's got the walk down.
Down past.
All I'm waiting for is the umbrella with all the gadgets in it. That's all I'm ever waiting for is what made these characters so iconic in the Batman universe. When it comes to the Penguin, what made him iconic? Brother Man had an umbrella. And inside that umbrella
might be anything
and everything. From a knife to a flamethrower. All in an umbrella.
But what was else? There was something else about the character. Like I said, for me, the characters they are intriguing me. They're dragging me in, and Colin's performance of the Penguin is going to go down as iconic. I personally, I did not think anybody else could do it better than Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito was incredible. Not even so much just because of the costuming, but because of his performance in the costume.
Oh yeah,
it was incredible. It was like like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. They're still trying to find somebody to outdo that, and it's almost impossible because she did it so well. Same thing with DeVito, except for now, I believe Colin Farrell is like kind of he's kind of beat him.
He's got him. If nothing else, which is fine, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't think anyone was beating Jack Nicholson until we saw Heath Ledger. And then once we saw Heath Ledger, I was like, Jack, you did good, but that boy Heath, he different.
Yeah, he again, and again because he wasn't as over the top as Jack, but he was over the top, but in a more scary kind of way.
Yes.
He was the over the top that you don't want to see. You don't want to see nobody that over the top.
No, never.
Because you don't want to meet that guy.
No, you never want to meet that guy.
Nah.
Because there's no way,
it's going to end well. one of the other things, and again, like I said, for me, it's always about the story and the performances. One of the things you find out again, and even in the comic books, and also in some other iterations that you see of the Penguin, he's a master manipulator and strategist.
Yes. And
it's like he is the one behind everything that's going on this show. And they can't, well, Sophia can.
No, she sees it.
She sees it. She calls him out on it often, and which is why I believe at the end of the whole thing, she's like, I'm taking this away from them. You in? And he's like, let's dance.
Yeah.
he's like, let's dance. And I was like, oh God. And that was because I guess here's the old saying, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, if I got to keep him close enough so I can keep an eye
on him. Because, I mean, the man is playing whatever angle he plays because, yes, she was like, I'm going to take it all from them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hear you, sis. But you just said that to the man who in the very last episode just said the same thing about you. So, sure, he's going to take it all away.
Yeah.
He's going to take it all away. But he just said that about you, that he's going to take it all away.
So in other words, he's like, all right, you're going to do the heavy lifting, and then I'm going to come in and
just take the rest.
And pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
After you're gone.
This show is incredible. One thing I did like to, again, talking more about complex characters and their stories, is just one, I don't know if you noticed in the first episode, there's a scene where they get on the train. And there's 2 handicap seats.
Mm-hmm.
The Penguin being with his foot has every right
to that seat.
Yeah. But he doesn't sit in the seat. Yeah. Because he doesn't want anyone to see him as less than and handicapped.
Handicapped. Because to him, he is not.
He is not.
I
was like, bro, that is just.
Yeah, it's like they're doing like a lot of little subtle things that you. So and the little subtle things are what make you pay attention.
Yes.
What make you pay attention to the show. And yeah, I did catch that.
And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
He didn't sit down.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't pay it any mind. I paid attention to the scene, right? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until after the fact that I was just reading about the show on Twitter that I saw that that I made that connection, that he wasn't, that the reason he didn't sit down in the chair was because he didn't want to be seen as less than anybody else, because he doesn't see himself as being as handicapped, so he won't sit down and, in those seats. And even just his relationship with his mother.
I knew that's where you was going, so I was trying to wait for you to get it out.
And that's been a thing.
Yes.
That has, been a favorite of mine, honestly, since Gotham. Since Gotham. Because that Penguin.
Yes.
Was like, there's never been a bad Penguin.
No.
It's never been a bad Penguin.
No.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. But like, just the relationship with his mom.
Yes.
Because even to the fact that, like, he drives a Maserati around Gotham, but then when he goes and sees his mother, he's pulling up in a station wagon.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fam, just. And the crazy part is, because he's talking to his mom, and she knows.
She knows who he is.
You know that she knows exactly who he is
and what he
does. But he's still putting up the appearance as if he's not.
Yeah. And she calls him out on it. She was like, all right, what did you do? When he comes in after he has killed Alberto, she's like, okay, what did you do? And because at first she's acting, and you thinking like she's talking from a mother's perspective, like, oh my God, my son committed murder, and oh no. She was like, and then when he finally tells her what, she looks at him and she said, you didn't kill him. because he insulted you. You killed him because you wanted to. And he's like, all right.
All right, you got it.
You got it.
You got it. I did. You got it. Okay, sure.
She's like, and then she said, because you're my big, strong boy. No, because he was whining, because he was kind of whining, and she said, what are you? She said, she looks at him like, what are you? You little P boy, P word boy. And he looks at her like, because she said, are you? Is that what you are? And he's like, no. She said, that's right. She hits him and she's like, that's right. You're my big, strong bull man. He said, you do. She said, you're going to take it all. She's like, she's like encouraging him.
Letting you know that, one, this ain't the first time they had this conversation. This is something they've been talking about his entire life.
She said, this city is yours. And I was like, wow, Ma.
Okay.
All right, Ma.
Like, all right, Ma, you different. You different. You built different.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. I see you. I see you.
We see you, Ma.
I see you, Ma. I see you. Okay, I see you. But wow, what a show.
What a show.
What a show. I hate that this show is coming out week to week.
Yeah, me too.
I myself was upset when I watched the first episode. It came out on a Thursday. And then they were like, I came last Thursday. I was like, all right, cool. Because I got these back to back. So I went to go watch it, right?
And it wasn't there.
And it wasn't there. And I said, excuse me? And then right up at the top, it said new episode Sunday. I said, then why didn't you just drop it on a Sunday?
Yeah, why didn't you just drop it on a Sunday?
Why didn't you just release the first episode on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it was competing with anything. HBO has nothing on right now that would compete with the Penguin coming on Sundays.
No, not at all.
Like, you got the time. You could drop it on Sundays.
Yeah.
Which you were gonna like. You could have dropped that first episode on a Sunday, and we'd have been fine.
And you could draw, and you would have drawn in a bigger audience.
Yes. Why? Because nothing else is on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if you, again, another show, fantastic show, brilliant show. If you have not already watched,
please,
The Penguin, please skip. I mean, it's too late because we talked about a lot in this show already. The spoiler alert is here. It's late. I'm sorry. But I mean, once we started talking about it, if you planned on watching it but hadn't started watching it yet, just get past this part, you know? Just skip past it. And then,
But here's the thing. Even with the spoiler alerts we gave you, you are still in for a heck of a... You are going to enjoy.
But no, I'd have been upset with people like me. That's the only reason I'm saying this. Because people like me, I'd have been upset if I was watching this video and they started talking about it and I hadn't watched it yet. I'd have been upset, especially because if we didn't give an unspoiled review... So I'd have been upset with people like me.
This was a spoiled review.
Yeah, it was definitely a spoiled review.
Almost smelly spoiled.
Yeah. But yeah, that was crazy. And I didn't send it to you. But you know what I've been watching? And I have to watch the season finale. It's a Hulu show.
Okay.
It's called How to Die Alone.
That's been getting good.
Oh, that show is fantastic.
That's been getting good talk. I've been hearing. I
started watching it, right? And I watched the first episode, and I was like, "This show looks like it's trying really hard to be a lot of other shows, but like it looked like it was going to fail at being a lot of other shows. It's not trying to be a lot of other shows. It's its own show, doing its own thing, and it's found its own lane. Oh, I love this show so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a comedy or dramedy or what?
It's a dramedy.
Okay.
Because it is very funny. Very, very funny. But it does have moments where it's just like, wow, this is a lot. And like where like you're not. There was one episode where I literally was angry.
Really?
Because of how, like, what the scene I was watching. I'm not gonna spoil it. There was an episode. I was literally angry at one of the characters in the show, and was like, "Are you kidding me? How dare you?" But then there are other episodes. It was just like, bro, like it was kind of emotional, like it was an emotional heartstring pull. But yeah, it's a fantastic show. It's gonna take you on an emotional roller coaster. But it's a good show. It is very worth watching.
How many episodes?
It is 8 episodes.
Okay.
And they're like, I think the first episode is like 45 minutes, but then after that they're like a half hour each.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not like really long episodes. No, not at all. You can breeze through it rather quickly, and you'll want to now that the entire season is out, because this was another show where it was just like, hey, it was week to week.
Okay.
But it was like it's worth it. It's a really good show. I think everybody should go watch it. It stars, let me get her name from Insecure.
I just saw her on an interview.
Natasha Rothwell.
Yeah, I just is she also the writer? Also, is she also the writer of the show?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Fantastic show. Fantastic show. Love it. Hope it gets season 2. Speaking of shows not getting further seasons, did you see Chucky got canceled?
I was not watching that.
Oh, me neither. I never watched a single episode. I was surprised it got 3 seasons.
I was surprised every time I heard about it getting another season. I was like, why?
Yeah, I was surprised Chucky got 3 seasons, but it got canceled.
Yeah.
It got canceled, and for those who,
yay,
right? I was just like, oh, okay, like,
okay.
If you're a fan of the show, then I apologize, and you know. I'm sorry for you because it got canceled and you really like that show. If you're like me and you didn't watch it and you don't really care,
okay,
cool.
It's okay.
It's okay. Do you ever heard of Unprisoned? That's
on Hulu, right?
Yeah. With Kerry Washington.
I heard things about it. I have not.
Oh yeah, I watched the first season. The first season was okay. I didn't watch the second season at all. But that got canceled too, so I'm not gonna go watch the second season because it got canceled.
And that's really jacked up because again, I hate that because, you know, I watch shows, I get drawn in, and then they cancel it, and I'm like,
yeah.
So it's hard for me to watch new shows.
Oh no, I get it.
You know, it's really hard for me to watch new shows.
Also, since we're talking about the canceling slate, Black Cake, which is another Hulu show.
Yeah, that got really good reviews, and then a lot of people were watching.
Yes, it got canceled after season 1. It's not coming back, which is cool because again, I started the show, didn't finish it, not going to, because I'm gonna get upset if I go back and watch the show, really enjoy this season, and then I'm like, wait, we're not getting more. Yeah, hate that more than anything.
Hate that. So it's like, I'm glad you're telling me these shows got canceled.
Yeah. And I don't even know if you watched. And I'm almost sure nobody still watched anymore or cares. But Black Ink Crew, which is a show that came on VH1.
Yes.
So it was about tattoo artists.
Yeah.
That finally got canceled. I think it should have been canceled after.
I was like, I didn't understand why it was still on.
Oh, it was for me. I can't even hold on, Greg. I still watched. It was the only reality TV show left that I watched. Black. I don't ask me. Loved the show.
Really?
Like, yes. Was watching every episode of Black Ink Crew. I watched with bated breath this last season after the show. After the person who the show was about initially got removed from the show. He got kicked off the show. It was the whole thing. Because the video came out of him like beating up a dog in his driveway. So, you know,
he got removed.
He got removed from the show. So they did go 1 season without him.
Okay.
But that season came out in like 2022, and we never got anything else after that. But then he posted on Instagram recently that it was canceled.
Oh, okay.
But also in that same post was like, would you want to see it again? no, the moment's kind of passed.
Yeah.
Like the moment is past, bro. Like it's okay. It's fine. But yeah. I think that's all the shows currently
They got canceled.
canceled that I heard about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has been canceled news. This has been canceled news. Tune in next week when we tell you about more shows
that have been canceled. See if your favorite is
See if your favorite has made the list. But yeah, as said earlier.
Oh no, we still got one more.
We got one more. What?
Oh, that you sent on the list.
Oh. I mean,
or do you want to postpone that for another time?
Yeah, postpone that because let me.
You want to watch?
I want to actually go back and watch the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch the whole thing. I'm gonna give it another.
We'll talk about it off camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it another go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it another go. So we'll talk about that. We'll wait for the next episode. But speaking of the WWE SummerSlam next year, annoyingly, they've made it 2 nights. I hate that.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, no. No. When you watch the show, you'll understand. You're gonna understand. You're going to totally get it.
Oh no, Uncle Greg, I get it now.
You probably already get it.
I just don't,
because you're a fan.
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Because though this year's WrestleMania was different, right? Because night 1 and night 2,
totally different.
Yeah. I was, especially night 2, right?
Yeah.
Like what I thought I was going to be fatigued, that last half hour gave me all the energy I needed to finish watching WrestleMania.
We were bouncing off the wall.
Yes. About that last WrestleMania. That was it. That was something different, something special.
I was hoarse. I was hoarse.
Yes.
From screaming, from yelling,
So, also, just to let you know, before we get back to, 2 nights is exhausting.
Yes.
And I'm just going to say that. Watching 2 nights of wrestling for like 6 hours is exhausting. It's a lot. It's a lot. By night 2, I am exhausted.
Yeah.
But next year's SummerSlam is 2 nights now. It's not 1 night. And it is at MetLife Stadium. I will be, from talking to William, we are going to go night 1. Get tickets for night 1. Go see night 1. Watch night 2 at home.
Oh, okay.
I can't do 2 nights in MetLife Stadium. No. 1, for budget reasons.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because you're going to end up spending a whole lot of money.
1, for budget reasons, and 2, because it's just a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be exhausted.
Yeah.
So we're going to get tickets for night 1. Night 2, we're watching at home. But also, wait, what was I about to say about WrestleMania? The heck was I about to say about WrestleMania? WrestleMania this year is sharing a very special day. And I already told my parents, don't expect me to be at anybody's house for too long. Don't expect me to be anywhere going too far, because this year for WrestleMania weekend is the same. It falls on Easter weekend.
Ooh.
It's on Easter weekend.
Ooh.
So Easter Sunday, I'm gonna be sitting in front of somebody's house, and no, not somebody. I'm going to be at William's house watching WrestleMania on Easter Sunday. So I already told, don't expect me to be anywhere else other than William's house on Easter Sunday, 2025.
Yeah, because
I'm going to be watching WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I can't get tickets because it's in Vegas, and that's going to cost me like
$1 million,
5 kidneys. So
your firstborn.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, WrestleMania next year is in Vegas. It's going to be 2 nights. Falls on Easter weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be entirely too many people in Vegas at one time.
Yeah. So I'm going to be watching from the comfort of William's couch, where we will get all of the best angles, all of the best views,
right.
and the commentary, which honestly, as much as you enjoy watching wrestling in person, the commentary is always nice.
Fun. Yeah.
It's always fun to hear as you're watching, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah. It's celebration time.
Celebration time. Now we can
celebrate, because we have been at this for 4 years, and I say we because I think you've been on like every episode. You've been on like back when I did seasons. You were there for like every season minus the first one.
Yeah,
and
first season.
You just you've been here since the very beginning, and it's been 4 years, and we're gonna just celebrate 4 years of being the best podcast in the world.
You know it.
If I can open a bottle. You can tell I don't do this anymore. I don't live this life anymore. I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man.
Back in the day.
That's why this is sparkling cider. And not what it could be.
Back in the day, you could just look at the cap and
it'll just fly off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's like,
listen, I had times, right, where I could I was learning before, Jesus came into my life and found me. Mm-hmm. I was learning how to open this with my teeth. Should I not have
an opener?
An opener nearby? Never got that far, though. Mm-hmm. My teeth they're not built for that. I don't know how people do it. But, I've been at this for 4 years, being your favorite podcast that you'd ever want to listen to.
That's right.
And here is... From 4 years, I still enjoy doing this, which is not something I thought I would have when I started, because this was a lot of work in the beginning, and I almost quit like 2 episodes in, like before this whole thing even got started. So the fact that it's still here 4 years later is a testament to my determination and will to keep this going. So I am grateful. I am grateful that you have joined this journey with me.
Thank you, sir. I am grateful for asking. I just came on as a guest, and I was intrigued by the whole thing, and I thank you. And then when you called and asked me if I would come on as a permanent co-host, I was like, sure. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I have loved every minute of it.
For sure.
It has been great. We have had so many good times and good conversations. And to you, the fans who have been watching,
thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
And listening.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate all of you.
We want you to know that we appreciate you.
But here is to 4 years.
Here's to 4 years.
To many more.
And many more.
Because, we just getting started.
Because our goal is to one day do red carpet work.
Yes. We're going to get there.
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 But yeah, we are just getting started. Let me tell you, all of the things I have learned within the past 3 weeks. Yeah, we about to go up. We just getting started. 4 years in, and we just getting started. So stick around, because you don't want to miss.
You don't want to miss what's going
where
to
we
happen.
going next.
That's right.
You won't want to miss it.
That's right. We are claiming it.
Yes. And until the next one.
We out.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.